Hi guys. Am I audible? Okay, cool.
A warm good morning to one and all. I, on behalf of PSI SBJCB, welcomes you all to the webinar on growth hacking. The section is going to be handled by Leo K.A. He's a developer at Inspired Entertainment and ex-Oracle and also an alumni of Electrical and Electronics Department GEC Barton Hill. There are a few points to be noted by the participants. For smooth running of the section, don't forget to mute your mic. Certificates will be provided to only those who fill the feedback form provided at the end of the section. Now, I welcome our speaker, Liosa, to take over the section. Thank you.
Hi guys. Thank you, Malak. So, uh, yeah, let me start sharing my screen. Okay. Yeah, hope everyone can see my screen. Yeah, maybe the starting didn't go well. I could not join because of what do you call? Everyone else joined the presenter or the or uh, like host could not join. So sorry for that. A bit late on that. So uh, can anyone confirm in chat or anything else whether everything is smooth and I'm audible and we don't have any network issues in chat or audio? Anyone?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay, great. So before going on to the topic, let me give you an introduction on what uh, and why I took this topic. So, as Malvika told, I am a developer currently working in Inspired Gaming. And previously, I had my ventures with Cognizant, TCS, and Oracle. And obviously, as he told, I'm an ex student of GCB and proud alumni. And recently, I took a MTech too. So, coming to why I took growth hacking as a topic. So, when CSI could Trivandrum, GCB, they approached me for a session. There are millions of topics going around me to because you guys are like wonderful. You guys are updated in all those technologies and upcoming topics already have. So I too had my mind fixed for the data science part, where because at least the crowd will be looking keen to that particular topic of mine. So that was my personal interest to take, and obviously one of the most reason was because I lately took a MTech in data analytics. But unfortunately, you guys went ahead of me on that, and I think that are wonderful students of GC. We only took covered most of the topics that is upcoming, and like going into depth depth of each topic in 1 hour, that is not possible. So I had to switch to some other topic that should be as entertaining as data science and all. So that is when I came across some group photos in your what do you call Instagrams, where you have a lots of entrepreneurs coming up. So each entrepreneur I saw, each idea is so unique, and like everyone has chosen their career or like their future plans so ahead. So I just wanted to give an input on that. So you might be thinking, oh my God, this guy is only concentrating on the entrepreneurs and not on us. So don't worry. So I'll cover all of you. So what I am trying to do is I'm trying to get you an idea of anything. Maybe it's personal, maybe it's you as a product, or like your company as a product. How you can achieve the one only goal of everyone, that is there in the entire universe, that is grow and grow. Maybe the first grow is like you have to be It's never only on the revenue part you're focusing. It's always there are some costs. There are always maybe say, social commitment that's coming. So grow, and the second term that it's your choice. So it's all as always. It's the grow and grow and grow. That is coming into our mind whenever we think of ourselves or our product or business. So these are the major topics or major areas where will be covering about growth hacking. So I will start with what and why and how. So I'll give you a background on how this term came into a picture, and whether this is a new term, and what you want to achieve, and like some typical tools or techniques that is handy that will help you, at least that will inspire you to get new ideas. So and obviously, as I told, I'm also focusing on the entire crowd. So I want that to the second part, or like this 25 part of the entire session, to be told like an career, how personally this term growth hacking can help you. So the first major question: what is growth hacking? So if you start using the popular search engines like Google or Bing, and or you ask someone on what is growth hacking, since it's a relatively new term, you will get plenty of different answers. And I think maybe some will confuse you. Some will be in paragraph, some will be a sentence. So I just want you all to know it is just a simple thing. The idea is simple, but getting into the action, that is pretty tricky. That's pretty smart. So growth hacking as a term, it's a data driven methodology using smart techniques for marketing. So marketing, not only marketing, like, so it's like a data driven methodology using smart techniques for growth. So this is my personal favorite definition of growth hacking. So that is why I when uh, who was that? Yeah, when Rizwan contacted me and told me to give her one sentence on what, so I gave her the term out of the box marketing technique. So that is my favorite, personal favorite definition. So this is like you have a plenty of techniques that is out there. You have a really plenty of techniques out there. So you have to pick. You have to be very specific on picking it, very specific on experimenting on it, and very particularly like you have to think about it more than making guesses. So it's a data driven thing. So every assumption you make, it's never assumptions, it's like a calculated one. And so coming into a startup or a big firm, so always it's like you are focusing on the triple A and triple R thing. So it's like if you have a website, so you first thing you need to do is awareness of it. Like everyone should know about it, and everyone should like at least come across your website's name at least once a while. So that is the first A. So awareness. So once everyone is aware, like you have to bring them into your website. So that is acquisition. So that is one ice breaking thing. And so after acquisition, so it is the activation. So if you land into an product company or product website and you start buying things, so maybe you just randomly browse across websites, Amazon, and you take and you go till buy option, but that does not convert to buying it. So that is where activation comes into part. So once you buy it, so you got a customer. So that is a big achievement. The first goal achieved. So once you have done that, the second one that is coming just behind us, like you have to bring him back. That's a very powerful thing, and that should be equally important as making him buy. So once you got activated as a customer, you may most probably you'll be prompted with many of techniques like mailbox or notifications in your mobile, and then you will be keen to buy it again. So that technique brings back a customer. That is retention. So once that is also done, that is a great part. You have achieved something like 90% of your growth. So once that is also done, then is the part where the marketing comes. Like you can make the customer way of marketing yourself. So that is where referral, the second last R, comes in place. So once this entire five phases happen, then you get this awesome thing called revenue, and your pockets are filled. So you're happy. So this is like a major, or like the most common like things that is happening in any startups, right? So if I miss this guy when I am like I'm taking a session on growth hacking, that's not fair. It's not fair to him, it's not fair to the term, like it's not fair at all. So Sean Ellis, he is a person who coined the term. So you start hearing about the term when someone give more focus on like, or uh, they start implementing some techniques in some of the major firms. So he has proven his term as well as his techniques well and good in firms like Dropbox. So as you all know, Dropbox is one product. So it's like maybe Google Drive you are coming across. So you will be given obviously some shared what do you call, you given storage areas. So what this guy implemented is like a small thing, the referral marketing. So he told this beautiful idea to, like, if you if you refer someone, give that person a 250 MB. So that's not a big deal if you're looking at a company, right? So that referral marketing, it's clicked, and maybe like in my firm too, I have been using Dropbox, and like now or then we'll all come across it. We have competitors, but it is one of the major uh, companies in that area. So like obviously when there is a idea coming up, there should be, or there will be um, people who dedicated to the, what do you call, do the job, right? So that is where a growth hacker comes in. So like the past five slides, like you might have been thinking, why these two terms? So hacker, why should that, is that legal, or are we doing some illegal activities? So this slide, I'll try to cover why hacking comes in place. So you are going out of the box, right? So you are trying various things, and you are not going with the typical tricks, and that is the only reason the term hack came across, right? So ethical hacking, so maybe some of you have interested. So it's nothing related to that. Growth hacking is a completely new thing, and growth hackers, he's not only technical. Like, it's not that he should not be technical or he can be technical. This thing is, he he should know somewhat of what technologies are there. So he's not behind in that. He's not only an marketing person. So as this term and this sentence was like the north of the true north of growth hacker is growth. So this was termed by Sean Ellis itself. So like his only aim is not only make a product, or like maybe not only limited to delivering a product. He's around the thing. He's always playing the role all over it. So the speed is something that he should focus on rather than perfection. So coming into that, so it's never like you get a awesome product, and once you have a great idea, you'll develop and you make it perfect. So once it is out in the market, maybe you're too late. So that is then that wasted your entire energy, right? Maybe even your pockets are empty. So that is where the speed part comes. So it's not like you are delivering a not perfect product. It's like you have to find the right pace and the right speed and deliver it. So, and next thing, as I always from the starting I told you, it's data driven. So it's all the choices, all the assumptions, all the techniques, all the methodologies that you adopt, all the tactics you adopt. So all those, it's all should be based on some data. So data, it's like nowadays you don't find lack of data, right? You have plenty of websites having sample data. So why again I started mentioning about some data. It's like you are making a website. Okay, you are a content writer itself. You're just focus your product based company, and your only aim is to bring people to your website. Once they start reading articles and left and right and top and bottom, there are some ad coming up, and you get paid for that. That's a simple idea of a product, right? So that thing, you have to bring the customer or the people who will be just scrolling in the webs in internet, right? So that major technique, clickbait, right? So you don't have data on like what are the common things that make us curious, right? So those data, and like they are websites giving data about the 1,000 or 100 or like the top 10 clickbait keywords that were successful on the last decade, last year, maybe last 6 months. Because nowadays everything is changing so rapidly, so you have to fix the time interval where you're going to analyze the data. And the third one is the most important one. So it's like this guy has no place to rest. So you are improving, you're testing, you're again improving, you're again changing your tricks, and you're improvising your tricks. So you're not changing it. Maybe at a time you have to change it, but maybe at times you don't have to change it. You just have to improvise it. So coming into what are the roles of growth hacker or skill set growth hacker? This person, so he should be a creative marketing, because if he creates a website, it should not be like piled up with junks. Everything should be organized. Everything should look catchy, and once everything is in a very creative manner, then you should put the right amount of data, a right amount of the content, a right amount of or a right place where you should put the add to cart rather than putting it in random places, right? So that is where the content marketing and all those comes in. So obviously when you are doing something, you need some engineering or uh, what do you call developers working for making that the piece of product for you, right? So that is another part of the skill that you need when you are thinking as a growth hacker. And last but not the least, but maybe the powerful one, it's like you need data to start measuring your inputs. Like maybe you put billions in marketing and maybe millions in engineering, and but things didn't come like in a profitable manner. So calculations, making and understanding the data, making the maximum use of the data, and then testing on changing it. So that is third and the final part of a skill that he needs, the data analytics part. So maybe till now you might be thinking, man, this guy is just going in the abstract level of each thing. Don't worry. Next, these two, next slide, most probably next slide, it's not even a lengthy one. And it's like this technique or this pillars of growth hacking, it's something that I got interested in. Like, I find these seven uh, the phases as very important. Each pillar is as strong as each other. So first one is growth mindset. So mindset is something that you should fix first. So it's not like you are going uh, and just implementing ideas. So you should. So let's take the example of the richest person, Jeff, as Amazon CEO. So you can't, you think think we all are Jeff. So initially we might have come across a photo of Jeff sitting with an CRT big monitor keyboard and a flex or maybe a cloth one hanging behind him, saying Amazon.com. Previously a black and white photo, right? Maybe that sounds similar. So at that time his mindset is not same as what he has right now. Maybe at that time his only mindset was like, get 1 billion customers or 1 billion product deliveries in the next 5 years. Maybe he achieved it in 3. I'm not sure of that. So so that is a strong mindset, right? He fixed that goal. He fixed everything around him to just focus on one particular aim. This should be really accurate, really measurable, and what do you call, achievable. It's not like you measured it, it's like a ton of things, so you have to break it down. So talking about Jeff, he personally delivered the 1 billionth product to that customer. So that is how important he or we should treat our goal. So once you achieve it, you should be really proud, and not proud and sit back, proud and then change your mindset to the next higher thing. So once you have a strong mindset, then you need some people to work on, some really strong, really awesome people who should start working with you, start having some beautiful skills and like outstanding skills and outstanding attitude for helping you to get this mindset done. So this skills, as I previously has shown in the growth hack skills, it start from marketing, data analytics, then the product engineering. And when you what you call, when you have some people, you need to manage them. So it's this itself is a small org inside your firm. So it's like you need managers, you need developers, testers, marketers, and all those. So every, maybe you could find one person who did or who can do 3 or 4 parts. Most probably in most of your and startups, maybe you are everything. Like you do all the jobs, but slowly as your firm uh, grows, you will have people focusing on each, and so that you can focus on other things, right? So going to the third one. So once you have all those set, you start measuring things. So you start measuring, or you start cut shorting everything into small goals, and you start like, okay, I invested 1 billion for marketing, and okay, this turned out to be a very good one. And so I expected only 10 percentage growth, but it gave me 12. Pretty small but beautiful. So that is when the measurement part comes up. So measurement is something that is too important. So everything that you aim, uh, you should think of a way to measure it, collect data from it, so that you can improvise on it. So again, growth hacking is purely on data. So this is an important term too. Then you should do something called as listen to the market. So coming into this, so maybe in back in 2019, so if one of my colleagues maybe they say, come on man, we'll start a firm that produces masks, surgical mask, N95 mask, like you or like everyone else. I'll be asking him, what the hell, man, this is not even close to what uh, I was thinking. This firm we're going to start, it's going to give us 3 rupees per day. So what happens, like? So maybe if the same idea, like in 2020, if I told I might have told, like, man, this is $1 million business. Because maybe at in this meeting we are not wearing masks, but if it is something close to in a conference hall, like 2 meter distance, surgical mask, maybe now it's double mask, right? So everything. So you have to know the market, when to deliver that beautiful product of yours. So all those are as important as developing it. So you should understand the market, and maybe if you're not planned for a product, this is a time you should listen to the market, understand the market, and all those. So once you listen to the market and you have a product, you have to find the perfect fit for it. So maybe according to some data, like the one of the most common reason for startups to fail is this: your product is not matching the market. Like, you have a beautiful product, but things didn't come up right, maybe at the right time you didn't deliver it. So that is maybe the one of the key reasons for your startup to fail. So maybe your idea is wonderful, but unfortunately you started your firm during the COVID era, and so at that time things get pretty hard. So maybe you have to wait a bit. Maybe waiting is not a good option. You have to improvise it. So once all these are set, once all of these are, like, you have a pretty good confidence on all, then is the part where you start advertising it. Like, you find the right channels to advertise your product. So it's not like in the olden days you just give an ad on Asianet, right? So in between Big Boss, it's not like Lala technology comes. Maybe though they find it interesting, but maybe not uh, our product will be helpful. Maybe like Byju's. So maybe they find television ads still effective because 90s kids, right? So maybe 90s kids are the new moms. So like still we will be watching TVs, so rather than going into social media. So like, so our mindset is still on the TV. So when Shah Rukh Khan or Mohanlal comes and they shout out telling, let your kids study, and when they come back, just give them the tab and let them study. So that is effective, but not always. Sometimes you have to rely on Google ads. Sometimes you have to rely on Facebook ads, Instagram ads. So maybe these are very powerful for you. And it's always, you should again, inside every phase of this, you again rely on data. So it's not that you pour in lots of money and your ROI is very bad, return of investment, that is pretty bad. So you should think about it, change your traction. So like every term, this is too important. So you just can't throw money on every advertisement agencies coming or approaching you. Should select them. You should have a proper idea on them. Like uh, what do you call let's take an example of Byju's. I already told. So let's change that to something else, like what do you call Gmail. Okay, Gmail. Gmail. When did it come? When did it come? It came around when I was in school days. So like I came into this particular Gmail uh, emailing application rather than Hotmail or Yahoo Mail at that time because of the mindset. Because my mindset, because it adapted a technique known as what do you call out of missing. Uh, yeah, out of missing. I think like it's a mental, like I don't want to miss out, so fear of missing out. So that is a mental trigger that comes out. Like only if you are referred by someone you can get an account to Gmail. Well, I fell for that. Sorry, man, I fell for that. So that was that. Like now even we all are joined Google Meet via, I got an invite by Gmail. So the fear of missing out is a very strong one. So that was successful for Gmail. So Alphabet employees, maybe the growth hackers around there, at those times they were successful in doing that tactics and that strategy at that time, and that was successful. Like the same example I have to take, like they tried the same technique on Google Plus. They were trying to compete with Facebook, and we know where Google Plus is right now, right? So it's the idea, but it's never repeating things. So each product, each time, the time you think, like the tactics, the marketing tricks you think, it depends on it should depend on the data. Data will vary on various things. You should think about it, brainstorm it, and you should find the right traction. So once you have find all those, then you should start optimizing it. Again, going into Alphabet, like Google Pay. Maybe initially when they started, they had, I think, for your lack of getting at least $50 in your pocket when you transfer 100 or $20 to your friend and returning that happens, like you will get at least 50 plus amount back. So that worked. That they got revenue about it. So if they continue that again, they might have got the same revenue, but they started improvising on that marketing. They started giving us discounts on other firms like Agio, like what do you call, some Rummy Online, or all those. So that is the part when that came. So you should improvise your tactics. You should have a clear mindset, right? Like revenue, you should focus on that part too. So if you start giving every time the same amount, obviously I'll continue using, but like my revenue will not increase, right? You need to hit the 1 billion or 1 trillion revenue market someday. So you have to improvise it. So GPay, I think many of us have that. So initially when you start scratching, it will be like, oh, 50, slowly you 5. Nowadays it's like better luck, then you find odd. So again you started dropping it. So nowadays you'll get every scratch, you'll get something, but it's like 50% on online rummy. Well, like maybe it's not useful, but at least I get a feeling of getting back something when I'm doing a service. Like I'm doing for myself, but someone is paying for returning me something. Okay, I'll again use Google Pay. That's a good tactics. So this is overview on how the entire thinking process should be, how the entire uh, adaptation of this technique, which aims on grow, and grow. So let me now start telling about some common techniques, or like most successful techniques. Maybe that will be the right word. Most successful techniques that came across when you come as a business. So referral marketing. So referral marketing is an effective way. So many companies had adapted it. So many ways, so many innovative ways. So one of the common ways of referral marketing get hit is like the person who refer and person who's referred both get benefited. So it's like double-sided thing. So I'm happy. I referred you. You are too happy to install it when I throw a WhatsApp message from some weird app. But you'll get something out of it. That's why you too give it a shot. So referral marketing. So many companies like PayPal, Gmail. No, Gmail. No, Gmail is like different thing, right? Hotmail, and what do you call Google Pay, uh, Paytm. Everyone uses this, or like maybe even Facebook is using this, right? You Even though they are leading in the industry, still you have an option to invite your friends. WhatsApp has it, right? So referral marketing is a very effective way. You just have to think a little out of box and start implementing it. Then content marketing. Obviously, when you market every beautiful ways you find and someone lands into your website, contents, you don't have it. So you should have some beautiful content. So nowadays, every application has a blog spot around it, right? You'll find a website, but they have a discussion forum, they have a blog spot, or they have something another where they have beautiful contents, so that they can retain you and take your 5 minutes of free time and retain you in that website. And at that time you will be popped out with millions of things and millions of different ways. Maybe it's like a notification asked from your browser, maybe it's a chat box right coming in the right bot corner. Maybe it's like tons of ways, pop-ups, right? So content marketing is as important as that. Now what I think, or like majority of the time I fall into is scarcity principle. So I told you, right, back in my school days I started using Yahoo, but switched into Gmail just because it was invite only. So that is a mental trigger. That's a very strong mental trigger, and that is effective. But bringing or like adapting into such a principle, it's really tactical, because you have to think about it. You have to know many of the except like maybe psychology too, right? How people react on each term, like this clickbait, maybe that too is a scarcity, or not particularly, but it's like a mental trigger too. Then after all these, there is something common. Like you have to test, you have to try, website with the pattern you adopted A and pattern you adopted B. So that is you already have a term for that, A and B testing. But you have to try these both types of things, and you have to come up with better and improvised methods. So now coming to like there are millions of tools around you that already are developed, can give you some data out of it. So going into the first example of Hotjar. So you have a website, you have a very beautiful website. Say I'll stick on to Amazon, maybe it's similar, right? So when a person comes into it, how does his click pattern goes? Where does he click most? Like every time, does he navigate using your given navigation method from your menu, or does he go back to your search pattern since that is faster? So how that mouse pointer goes, where he clicks the most, where majority of customers click. Like you start putting up a new ad of what do you call Redmi having a flash sale, even though that's again a mental trigger. But if you put such a beautiful uh, poster coming up in your left panel, and you find people clicking it often, so if you need to find whether that is effective only by measuring the clicks on that, right? So that Hotjar can help you. It can produce heat maps. So if this is your screen, like you will be seeing people clicking on the icon rather than text So that is an effective way. So you found out that just because of the heat map provided by some tool, for example Hotjar. Then one of the next effective tool that I came across is Landbond. So chatbox has always been what is a good way to at least to improve your customer tickets coming up, support tickets coming up. So you can create a chat box that already has data regarding the common methods that you are doing your deliveries. So if you have a refund, what's going to happen, all those. If you have a chat box, you don't want people to call up and waste a lot of energy. So chat box are very important nowadays. It's not so coming popular, but each time I go into some sites like my bits site, so even they have a chat box because professors are uh, too busy answering the same questions every day. So when it's the last date, they just feed it into the chat box or submission data, and I just type into the last day and the correct ID of my assignment. That gives me the answer. Beautiful, right? So landbot.io, it gives you an opportunity to create chat box. It has some data you can provide to, you can customize it to. So that part can be achieved by landbot. So then one effective what do you call tool I felt, that if I am creating a website, say I don't want to mention my name, so again I'll go with Amazon. So I want people's feedback rather than asking them. I need, because nowadays uh, checking your social media statuses about what you talk about, all those is important, right? So that is where uh, Colibri comes into picture. So using this tool, you can uh, it can help you to understand how people are talking about your product in various social medias, like say it is Facebook, Twitter, and all those. So you might have obviously come across Bitcoin and all those recently, just because Elon Musk tweeted it, right? So it shooted up like a rocket. Maybe it landed drastically, but it shooted up just because of that person tweeted it in, right, in some evenings that he felt so. And these things, so you should know how people are talking about your product. And then you might have like most of the time you might have felt annoying, but you might have been asked in websites and apps, that do you want us to push some notifications when this product comes back, or we have some beautiful newsletters posted every month, do you want us to push it to your mail? So all those push notification, right, those can be an effective way. So those are really an effective way, and push crew can help you with that. So it's again an online tool available. It's paid. Majority of these are paid, but but all those these the right, using it in the right way, it will be helpful. So this was the next term is what I was talking about earlier, fear of missing out, and or the thing like when you start planning for a Ladakh or northeastern trip, and you go into booking.com, and you will be like searching, you don't have a date at mind, so you'll be scrolling. So and you'll be finding a great what do you call, a great hostel. Hotels are too mainstream right nowadays, right? So hostel, so you don't have a date, but you just find an interesting one, and you will be like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. But suddenly you see a text message just below it, was booked 2 minutes ago, just uh, 5 rooms left. So that brings you a mental trigger, that pops up something in your mind. Not every time you fall on it, but majority of times you fall for it. So at least, so at least for some of the people who have been bored about in the past 1 hour, they'll be like, okay, just 5 more slides that guy has. So at least I got attention on people catching into that top right corner and getting okay. I can get up from my place after just 5 more slides. So this tool can help you with that. It has some gravy techniques. So if you feed some data, they can show those text accordingly. So Hootsuite is again something that will be useful for majority of us, already the ones who have startups, because you might have come across a tons of social media nowadays, right? So you like copy pasting into each and every media the same content at the right time. Maybe at the 6 o'clock on Friday, you find out that is a good place where you start marketing, and by the time you start posting in your 10th social media, it's already 7. You lost your precious 1 hour. So that's pretty bad. So this tool can help you. You can manage all 10 of your social media in one single website, shoot your contents, schedule it for the time, boom, you got it, everything at 6. Beautiful. You at least you achieved your plan. So since this is a relatively new term, it's never a new term. So there are some myths going around growth hacking. Or like if you start googling, you'll find millions of people saying a million of things. So I want to just clear of some common stereotypes. So growth hacking is a cheat sheet of all secrets of growth. So there is never something called as cheat sheets of secrets. Like maybe in Kung Fu Panda, he found out this dragon scroll and he opened it. He found nothing but a reflection of himself. So then he started thinking, okay, so there's something else. You have to think about it. So it's always the mindset. It's not the tool set that's helping. It's always the mindset. It's always you and the way you think that will help you in growth. And next thing is like growth hacking is marketing. Never means it's never. It's too marketing, but it has completely different tactics. It has so beautifully crafted things that you achieve so many things other than marketing too. And like in the starting, I told this term got coming up in late 2010, not the late 90s or anything. So growth hacking is a new thing. So that is not true again. So that is like McDonald's. They started putting up their shops in highways, just thinking in the way maybe these techniques. They thought of this technique. They didn't know the term. So this is a methodology that's had happening, but they just coined the term recently. So these are some popular examples of things that across you have used this term as a term. As a term means they hired someone for exclusively for growth hack. So maybe technically speaking, A and B, they start. Sorry, they reverse engineered an existing um, what do you call a news agency app, and they started using that news agency app rather than pushing notifications from their own websites. So that is pretty neat. And Dropbox, as you I have already told you, Dropbox, they use the referral techniques. So LinkedIn is something that is pretty good, and it actually, that marketing technique is still going. I could see recently an competition in CSI itself, right? You created the best um, uh, LinkedIn profile. Congrats to the winner. And so that profile, that public profile that LinkedIn gives you, right? That is very important. So that what do you call that, that marketing, they started more on moreover than a job advertising agency or a content or a social media agency, they started building a concept that this LinkedIn profile matters in the public. So they started marketing that. So that is successful. Hotmail, they actually what do you call, they achieved, they recently got acquired by Outlook, but so they achieved that. Maybe your aim is just to get acquired somewhere. That happened that each mail you sent, they used to put up what do you call, hi, I love using Hotmail, do you want to give it a try? So you are sending it to everyone else using so many other mail applications, and you find this effective because you are using the existing customers as a marketing technique rather than hiring someone, hiring some websites or those. So PayPal again, referral. uh, Instagram again, it is to be told as something thinking. So they thought of out of the box. So they saw it has a social media, but they didn't go for the contents. They didn't allow you to post everything. So they focused only on, initially, at least initially, they only focused only on images. So you just turned your smartphone into digital camera. You started showcasing it. Nowadays the audience or the ways of image, it got broader, but initially their idea on how this thing came more over our heads, it's like they started, it was not just scamming with contents, it was scamming with it, obviously just scamming when some people put some trains of statuses or images, but they, it's less limited. You only have contents of photos. So now, till now I have been majorly focusing on firms or what I call business companies as like how this will be helpful. So now going into how each one of us, if you're an entrepreneur or not, this can help you. One thing you can have, you can start a career, you can think of a career of a growth hacker. So that is a way. Nowadays it's hiring very high, you are getting paid very good. Maybe in next decade, this too will be the sexiest jobs. And but again, you're not going for that, you're not going for the business, you're going to do what you're passionate now, and how these techniques can help you. So networking, so these, again, online has a prominent role nowadays, right? Nowadays everyone, or at least majority of the people around the globe is using social media or some sort of online. So you should start networking, you should start using these techniques for the same. So one of the common things is, like, we'll break into small parts and we'll try to cover it. So one of the major things is network. So you are going into LinkedIn, you have 500 connections, well and good. So maybe you just initially connected because you guys are just colleagues, but in the next 5 years this guy will be a CEO and you will be to some great position. But maybe these connections can help you. Not always you do with an intention of getting a help, but these can help you, right? So networking, keeping the rapport between people, that is to a good growth hack. Knowing people, always keeping in contact, always having a referral. So maybe you are more focused on what do you call a completely different domain rather than IT. Maybe you're thinking only this is for IT domain, right? No. If you want to get into Benz or BMW, and you find a person who you already know, and you just throw him a message, man, I found a beautiful job description and I love to give it a chance. I think you are in the firm. can you refer me to the job so that I just have at least a 10 percentage more visibility rather than me applying to the career site? Maybe that helps. Maybe like it will help. Obviously, it will help. Now or then, it slowly, or like not you start connected. You connected today and tomorrow he'll be in help, but not always. You should have that mind, but you should keep networking a very important thing that you should follow. Okay, now volunteering. So I know you guys are already doing these things, especially volunteering. You have CSI, IEEE, IST, maybe college union itself, NSS. So all these volunteering, this will help. This will help. Like, you are not doing this thinking you will get something back, but eventually when you give, the world will return to you something. That is true, because if you check some very good profiles, and so you will find them they work in NSS like you did. Maybe he worked 20 years ago, so you can start a conversation with something that you did because you were socially responsible. So that socially responsible field gave you a contact. Or maybe companies, or like maybe things like even I do some interviewing, so I just do when I have a glance at the application. Okay, sorry, just a second. Okay, sorry. When I come across some uh, resumes, and I see, okay, this guy has so many volunteering things, so he's a giver. So then firms look for that. Firms look for that keen, important point. So they are interested on your giver. And now this thing, the third one is not, maybe not everyone will be falling for this. Not everyone will be interested in this, but you start publishing articles, or like if you're going for an event, so you should start posting your achievements. Not, I'm not saying you should start scamming the entire LinkedIn and Facebook today, throwing the smaller stuff. So you should start writing contents. You should start writing it um, with your whole heart, and you should put some beautiful pictures around it, and you should frame it, and you wrote a beautiful article. And once you are done that, don't go and post it. So if you do that, maybe you will be muted by all your 500 connections around it. So once you've done that, leave it for the night, sleep. Tomorrow morning you just take it, read it again. So again, if you have the same feeling that you had when you started writing it, so that's a good point, right? So you, at least you felt this is good. Okay, you're like, okay man, this article is great, so publish it. Maybe there will be someone with the same rapport and they like it. That's good. You slowly you improve it. So try to do that. Even I am still not confident on publishing all the articles I write, but slowly I think I too will achieve it. So staying up to date, I think you guys are already doing it. So I don't want to waste your time telling about this thing. Like, you should know what the market is like. If you're career wise, you should again not focus on mechanical. So you're not only mechanical engineer nowadays, you're mechatronics, right? So you should think in every possible ways. So you should think of any other ways, like pursue an MBA and some great course. I think one of my colleagues, so he was really interested in what do you call mechanical, but when he started career and he started thinking, okay, so the world is going in something else, so I should start taking an MBA too. So he started taking an MBA in completely different things. Maybe few of my friends, they took it in banking, some really good institutions, right? So some took in supply chain, and some of my friends who took BTech in with me in electrical. He took a great course in designing, and now he's in a very good form. So those things are how, like, you have to think about it, and you have to adapt it, adapt to each one of you, like the market and your interest. So you should stay updated. You're not so when you're at 8th standard, and you were asked to what you'll be like, I'll be IAS and or I'll be pilot, and now you are pursuing an entire different career. That's not bad. That you adapted it, you changed it. Okay. So I think that is what I plan to share with you guys. Any questions, or like at least if you don't want to throw questions, at least if you want to add something what I told or what I mentioned, can we have an open discussion?
If anyone have any doubts, please unmute yourself and ask or put it in the chat box. Those who are attending the YouTube live, please put it in the comment section.
Maybe maybe there is two reasons why we don't have questions, right? Maybe first thing is you got everything what I tried to convey. Maybe the second thing, maybe that is not what I want. So that is like you wouldn't get anything out of it. I hope it is not the second one. And it's a relatively simple things. I just packaged it together. I just packaged all things, and I just started having all these topics into one good term, growth hacking. So at least like least of it, I can expect you guys to throw this term into your resume, saying that you are a growth hacker enthusiastic. Maybe you will have an additional what do you call topics to talk when you're attending an interview. So maybe at least in least case, at least this term will help you in that. So if that is it, I think I'm done. Like really need to thank CSI GCB for this opportunity. Like this is a great initiative you guys are doing. I just went through your social media, and I think you guys have continuing the same rapport. So really appreciate your efforts, and really thank you for an opportunity that you gave me. Svana is a person who contacted me. So personally, thank you, and thank you the entire Exicom for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Thanks a lot. If it is done, I think we can wind up.
I think no more doubts. Let's conclude the session.
Yeah.
Everyone, please fill the feedback form. For those in Gmeet, it is available in the chat box, and for those in the YouTube live, it is available in the comment section. Certificates will be provided to only those who fill the feedback form. So, we have reached the end of this wonderful session. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your enjoying talk. I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to all the participants who have shown overwhelming response and support throughout the session. Stay tuned with the CSI SBGCB for more exciting events. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye, guys. Bye. Have a wonderful day.